I'm going to go over this quickly. This is from the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Let me say this was 40 years of negotiation by thousands of people representing every indigenous nation on the planet to reach a consensus and ultimately reach an agreement with the governments of every government on the planet around what indigenous rights really are and what that means. This is a relevant piece of that. I will point out this passed back in the early 2000s. So this didn't exist when MKP was created, and to some degree was negotiated and created to respond to situations like the Mankind Project and other organizations. So the relevant piece here is the idea of free, prior, and informed consent. So this is in legalese. So I'm kind of trying to translate this for you. I know you're looking at the legalese, but the idea is that there is now a legal framework through which indigenous nations can pursue redress, in other words, lawsuits and other actions, when their customs and spiritual property are taken without free, prior, and informed consent, which essentially means that they, as a whole peoples, have agreed to having that religious and spiritual property used by an external group, which is possible. And one of the things that was really important throughout the UN process is that there are many indigenous nations who do want to share their religious and spiritual property, but that must be done through the actual leadership of those nations, not through any individual person, however much we might like them. And so that's kind of the key piece there. And we are currently in violation of this law of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples.